Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our second webinar with Verity and Anapaya. My name is Roel Cruz, I'm Global Partnership Manager here at Anapaya. All right, before we get our webinar started, let's go through the housekeeping. If you have any questions or any doubts, feel free to leave your question in the chat box, but also we have the webinar chat. We will get back to you towards the end. As always, this webinar will be recorded. This webinar will be shared with you towards the end. And then follow-up material. So any feedback that you can tell us, hey, this webinar could have focused on more on this topic, so on, you will receive a survey regarding about this. So any feedback will be great and appreciated. All right, so let's get started and meet our speakers for today. Today we have Dario Colachico, Chief Product Officer at Anapaya, and Diederik Benelux from Verity CEO. Dario, can you please tell us a little bit more about you?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Roel. So hello, everyone. I'm Dario Colachico, Chief Revenue Officer at Anapaya. So we are a Swiss cybersecurity company providing products based on SCION. SCION is a new, secure, controllable, and resilient internet architecture. And Anapaya started as a research project at ETH in Zurich. And now we are running a new kind of secure internet that connects Switzerland with all most important services. So including the whole financial industry, healthcare providers, the energy sectors, and many others.
Thank you, Dario.
You're welcome.
And Diederik, can you tell us a little bit more about you and Verity?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Diederik Benelux. I'm the CEO of Verity. We're a Dutch MSP company, privately owned. We run a lot of cloud platforms ourselves or build it for our customers. We currently have 35 employees, and our main focus is the Dutch market and Benelux. Also have some customers outside of the Netherlands, for example, Germany, Sweden, and England. Our focus is on Microsoft Linux products, a lot of security and cloud infrastructures. We're currently building a lot on our Dutch data centers. And we're one of the first adopters of the SCION protocol alongside Anapaya in the Netherlands.
Oh, thank you, Diederik. Now let's take the fire chat. So Dario, take it away.
Good. Thanks a lot. So Diederik, let's start with you. So what inspired you to work together with us on Anapaya, and why now in the Benelux region?
Yeah, great question. Since last year, we read up about the SCION protocol. So we as engineers, as IT people, always looking for the new next thing. What is cool? What is next? What can we offer to our customers? So what really drew us to Anapaya and SCION is the vision of a safer and more sovereign internet, where you can take back your control on where your data goes and how it runs through the internet. By working with Anapaya, we're able to bring SCION to life in the Benelux, and Anapaya is helping us with this and give us their trust that we can deploy it in our data centers. Currently working with a lot of data centers, a lot of backbone carriers to enable it for as much people as possible.
Good. So that means you have now SCION live in your portfolio. And how do you bring it now to your customers? So what does a typical project looks like first, and how can a company get started with SCION together with Verity?
Yeah, well, a few weeks ago, we had a lot of engineers running into my office. We got it working, and that was really fast.
Right.
Just because of the help from Anapaya and a cooperation with our engineers. We got our first cores up and running, got our edges up and running on our own cloud, and from that on, our commercial team are working alongside Anapaya to see how the products will work for our end customers. So a lot of buzzing in the office at the moment, and I really want to push forward. That's for our own company, so we can support it in our own network. With our customers, we got a lot of questions. We went to an event yesterday. Everybody wants to know about SCION. So how we start these projects with our customers is first the discovery phase from why do we want to be on the SCION network? What's in it for you? How can we help you enable that for your company, and where can we help you? So when that question is right, and we have a lot of help from Anapaya to bring in the customer, for educate the customers, maybe a better way to saying it. We start with the designing phase, and after that, the provisioning phase, where we build on our course or their own course. And when that's done already, we start up the maintenance and support phase. So we help customers, helping their customers connect to the SCION network and their own infrastructure. So in overall, we are doing the managed SCION services for us in the Benelux, and with Anapaya, we could also expand to the rest of Europe.
Cool.
That's great. Well, thank you both. So now let's get our audience involved. And today's poll, we have the first poll questions. What is your organization's biggest challenge when it comes to secure, reliable data connectivity? Now we have some few answers here. So it's an A, ensuring compliance and data sovereignty. Regulation. B, preventing cyber attacks and unauthorized access. C, lack of visibility / control data path. Or D, downtime and reliability issues. Or E, other. Please specify in the chat. So I will keep this up and running for the next, let's say, 20 seconds. So far I see 50% participants, so let's wait until we get more than that. Hopefully we can get to 100. All right, guys, so let's see. Okay, and in the poll now, showing the results right here. As you can see, the results, majority of 100% share that it was A, ensuring compliance of data sovereignty and regulation. That's a very hot topic at this moment, especially in European regulations for telcos and banks and so on. And I see B is the second one, preventing cyber attacks and unauthorized access. So this is a topic we'll discuss a little bit more during our webinar. So let's go back to our speakers. All right. Diederik, can you please take it away?
Yeah, from the start, we talked a lot about for who is this protocol necessary, or what would like to use that. And we have a big example in Switzerland, of course. So why SCION particularly relevant for the industries like finance, healthcare, energy, and of course, government?
Yeah, I mean, these industries, they have one thing in common. They are part of critical infrastructure. Now, if something goes wrong, it can cause big problems and also serious consequences. And SCION solves many problems that the traditional, I call it always the old internet, cannot fix. So SCION includes built-in security. So it's secure by design. You have always the full path control with SCION. You have strong authentication at the network level, so on layer 3, and high availability. And altogether, this gives the customers a real control over their data that travels through the internet. So the customer is in the driver's seat with his data in the internet. And instead of trusting just one path, you can choose several safe and reliable paths, independent of a single provider. So you can also choose your provider. And we believe this is very helpful for critical organizations. For companies that must follow strict rules, I mean, we have new in Europe these NIS2 rules, and for anyone who needs more security and stability in the internet. So here on that slide, you can see ISDs. So with SCION, it's also possible to set up a so-called isolated domain. So this is why we call it ISDs. And several of these are already running in production today in Switzerland. So we have SSFN. This is especially for the financial industry. We have an isolated domain for the healthcare network, for a network for cashless payments, also for the utilities, and also for the army, government, and defense. And an ISD is like, you have to imagine, an ISD is like a trusted zone inside a SCION network. So all members of one ISD follow the same security rules and also the same governance. And problems or attacks in another ISD do not affect the traffic inside your own ISD. And one of the big benefits is if something is happening outside your ISD or an ISD is compromised, your own ISD stays secure and unaffected. And this is only one benefit of an ISD. Yeah, I mean, these are the advantages for critical infrastructure of SCION.
All
Yeah,
right, thank you
exactly.
both. Okay, so let's go back to our audience, get them involved now. Now, this is our second poll for today. The question is, how important is data sovereignty for your organization? It's A, very important, B, somewhat important, or C, not important. Now, data sovereignty is something very hot topic right now going on with all European unions. They're trying to prevent data to travel outside each country. A lot of telcos are experiencing these issues too. They're trying to find a solution, and of course, science fits perfectly for all of this kind of solution for data sovereignty. Now, I'm gonna keep this up and running for the next, let's say, 20 seconds. I see 60% participant have answered. If we can get up to 100%, that'll be great, everyone. All right. So I will be ending the poll now. So 1, 2, 3, sharing the results. And I see 100%. All of you all agree it's very important. This is a topic that we'll be discussing later on in this webinar. So let's go back to our speakers, okay? Now, Diederik,
Yeah.
you can take it away.
Yeah. Well, how does SCION enable the data sovereignty and regulatory compliance? As we talked about the new rules, you already told about this too. So how does this SCION help in that?
Yeah. So I mean, the most important thing is that with SCION, the sender controls the path of the data. So you can see it here on that slide. So as I mentioned before, the customer is in the driver's seat of the internet data. So I can choose the path. With BGP, this was not possible. And here you can see also, you can make sure that your traffic doesn't pass through countries, providers, or clouds you don't trust. So you can choose. And let's think it maybe a little bit more in that way. The customer controls exactly how the data is traveling in the internet. So every connection is secured with encryption. It's always full visible. So we have also a web console that you can see your traffic and steer your traffic. And with that, it's super easy to manage. And this helps companies following all the important standards like ISO standards, FINMA regulation, and NIS2 that you mentioned before, and also similar regulations. And I think this is very helpful.
Yeah, exactly. So because we have a ramp up, it's not new. We have the data from Switzerland. You have the data from Switzerland. We all have the data from Switzerland. So how can you show us some measurable differences between the old and the new one with the SCION?
So a great example is also the Swiss Secure Finance Network. So this is the ISD called SSFN. And SCION is used to build a high available and very secure connection between SIX, the Swiss National Bank, all the banks in Switzerland, and also the financial institutions, completely separate from the traditional internet. And thanks science, we were able to guarantee secure and reliable data exchange, even during attacks or outages. So you can see here on that slide, it's super resilient and secure, also against DDoS attacks. So we run many tests together with the banks, together with SIX, and SCION provides a great solution with a clear, measurable result. So this is a strong use case for sectors like healthcare and energy, not only for the banking sector. And this is why many of them are now using SCION. But to be honest, it's not only for large institutions, even smaller companies like a small bank, like Frankfurter Bankgesellschaft, like cloud providers are choosing this modern and new secure internet.
Great, thank you both. Now, Dario, take it away.
Yeah, now a question to you again, Diederik. So how is Verity making SCION accessible to the customers today?
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're a cloud provider, so our first priority was getting our cloud capacity SCION ready. So implement the edges, implement the core, so our own customers can use the protocol. So we got that running now. Next to that, we started training our commercial team. So we have 5 commercial teams that are certified in Anapaya SCION. And our operational team is certified as well. With those teams, we're going to the market and see who has heard of it, wants more information. And alongside Anapaya, we're training data center companies and carriers to help them go to market with the SCION protocol. So our own cores are built currently in the digital realty data centers and North Sea data centers, and we got it connected with companies, for example, like M6. We just connected Megaport, was a big player in the world, of course. So we can distribute all that connections, working with data centers, North Sea, LCL Data Center United in Belgium. So I think at the end of the year, we should be able to reach almost every data center in Europe, if it's possible. So we made a list of on-net for SCION and off near-net where we can connect via multiple carriers. In the meantime, we're working with Anapaya to make a concept that's SCION to the office, so we can actually do the endpoint. We have the gate, of course, but we can also do the endpoint in the Netherlands and most other countries. There's a lot of fiber to bigger offices, so we can get that piece as well. Next to that, we'll try to get as much MSPs on the network that are supposed to be there to add more backup capacity, more cloud resources on the SCION protocol, so we can keep everything safe. It's a big job, but we're really enthusiastic about it. And like I said, yesterday we had the event, and I think I talked for 9 hours straight about SCION and Anapaya and what can be done for you. So a lot of people are looking into it. And we're happy to help.
Good, thanks.
Now, guys, thank you both. So what's the key takeaway for today? Let's wrap it up.
So, I mean, for me, to sum it up, it's SCION, firstly, is made for critical infrastructure. Secondly, for me, the beauty of SCION is it gives you control, security, and availability on a new level. It's a totally new level. You are in the driver's seat of your data in the internet. And if your organization needs to be resilient and also compliant, now it's time to look at SCION. And with partners like Verity, getting started is super easy. So these are my takeaways.
Thank you, Dario. How about you, Diederik?
Yeah, like I said before, we are, as an engineering company, we're really excited about new technology. So we all jumped on it. And when we got the first presentations of Anapaya and they showed us how you can control your data flows, not only in the Netherlands, but soon everywhere, we're even more enthusiastic, sorry. And alongside Anapaya as a partnership, we're really proud that they choose us to help expand in the Benelux. We're really passionate about the product, and we'll be telling a lot of people about this.
All right. Well, thank you both. So that will be wrapping up this up. So everyone, if you'd like to try, sign, explore a pilot, feel free to reach out. Here we're sharing the QR code to book a meeting. Of course, you can always message us directly, either to Dario Kolaschiko or Diederik Venekis. And also, we will be sharing with you this whole entire webinar. We will do a follow-up with white paper and also sharing with you upcoming events. So keep an eye on that. Any final thoughts, Diederik and Dario, before we say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah, for us, like I said, we're really into the SCION. So if you have any questions, just reach out and we'll make sure if there's somebody ready to help you get on the SCION network.
That's great. Thank you, Diederik. Dario.
I mean, let's upgrade the internet. This is the only
Exactly.
thing that I can say.
All right, that's awesome. All right, both. Thank you, everyone. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.